Hey, this is Rob from JTRpodcast.com, and this is Legendary Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which I'm very excited about because I love Legendary and I love Buffy. I played this solo in my living room and I didn't want to get all the lights out and the camera and do a whole walk and talk through because it is just another Legendary game and there's tons of videos on those if you want to know how to play them. So I'm not going to cover how to play the game, I'm just going to go through what makes this one different to the others because there are a few things different and I'll just go through some of the Buffy stuff as well. So this is the board. You can see setup is basically the same as all the other games. All the cards have got their place and you have piles of cards in them. The two parts of setup are different, are putting the courage tokens on the left hand side of the board in their little space there, and on the right hand side there is a light and dark track, and we'll get to those in a minute. In this game, the wounds are a wounded Buffy, poor Buffy, and the bystanders. You can see Lily there, but there's also Buffy's mum and Dawn and a couple of others as well, all with different abilities, like in Marvel Legendary, where you've got the different people. Here, you've just got different characters from the Buffyverse. Now, I set the game up using the suggested first game. It's slightly different setup for a solo game. I'm not sure if the other games do that, I can't remember, but in this case, I use the Master, who's the big bad, and there he is in all his masteriness. With that scene there from the end of season 1. And backing him up there, we can see we've got Luke and the Hellhounds. So the Hellhounds are part of the henchman villain group. There's a few different things in there. There's also the Order of Aurelius, which is from season 1, which Luke is a part of. And you can just see at the top, just at the top of that picture up there, where I've discarded a Darla as well. So she's part of all this. And you choose a few of these to go into the game along with the villains and stuff, just like normal. And then down in the library, that's where your heroes live that you're using from, the cards that you're going to buy, and there's Rupert, Giles, Buffy and Angel I used in my games, so that's all cool. Also, your starting deck, it consists of Watchers. Watchers give you the recruit points, and Initiative Soldiers, I think they're called. The soldiers from the Initiative, they give you your attack power. So let's look at the dark and light track. You can see it's got 3 up to the light and 3 down to the dark, and certain things will make it advance. So you can see the Hellhounds have got an ambush advance to the dark, and you just move it that many spaces. So in this case, you just move it 1 towards the dark. Also, some of the cards you play advance the track. The track will change up and down throughout the game depending on which cards are played and which enemies appear in the game, but some of the cards will have abilities depending whether it is light or dark when you play them. So you can see Hurricane Buffy on the left here. When you play her, you would draw a card and you get 2 recruit points, but also if it's dark, you may KO a card from your hand, so that's only if the track's in the dark section, whereas Dead Boy Angel, if you're in the light, you get to draw a card. And you can see at the top and bottom of the track there is another thing, there's 2 triggers. So if you get to the 4th space of the dark track, there it says trigger the big bad dark ability, and then move the dark back to 1. So if we go back to look at the Master, you can see there in the dark it says play a villain from the villain deck. So you just put another villain out into play, and then you reset the dark track back to 1. Now if the light goes all the way up to 4, everybody gets one of the courage tokens, and you reset the light track back to 1. And the other thing that is different are the courage tokens themselves. That's one way to get them. You get them through other ways. You start with 1 as well in your starting area, and you spend them to either add extra attack or extra recruit points when you're playing cards. That's all they do, but they're quite handy. And there are 2 main differences, the light and dark track and the courage tokens. The other thing is it is quite PvP in a way, even though you are all working together. So here's a couple of examples of some cards. Here's Dawn's bystander card. When you rescue her, you steal a courage token from another player. So that's another way to get courage tokens, but you end up nicking them off somebody else. And if you defeat the King of Vampires card for the Master, you get to advance the light 3 times, and each other player discards a card. Not you, everyone else. So yeah, I mean, it's good. It's not too bad. I think it's something I didn't like about Marvel Legendary Villains was the fact that it was so PvP heavy that it was a bit annoying, but I think here there's just enough and not too much. But yeah, that's basically it. That's all I want to do, is highlight what's good about it and what isn't. It's got all the different characters. There's plenty of room for expansions. I think Adam isn't in there at all. I don't think the Mayor's in there. I don't think, because I'm doing this off of memory, so I have to excuse me, I don't think Hero Spike or Villain Faith is in there either. I think Faith's in as a hero and Spike's there as a villain. So we'll have to see if they add those in as well. Hopefully there's lots of expansions and we can complete the Buffyverse and then also add Angel in afterwards. That would be good. But overall, this isn't a game I've bought to play. I've just bought to collect it because I love Buffy. Legendary is my favourite gaming system. It's a shame it's not Legendary Encounters, which I like a lot more, but you can't have everything, and I've already got Firefly for that anyway, so yeah, that's Legendary Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Remember to like and share if you found it useful. Subscribe to the channel for more Jesta Plays videos as well as other board game related content. You can find my Twitter at JTR Podcast and find the blog and podcast at jtrpodcast.com. I've been Rob, aka Jesta the Rogue, and I'll see you soon.